I took my mother-in-law in after her stroke, bathed her, cooked her meals, and even missed my own father's funeral to stay by her side. One morning, I overheard her on the phone. "She's just a maid with a marriage license. He deserves better." That night, my husband came home with divorce papers. "She opened my eyes," he said. "You're holding me back." I was out within days. But I left behind a flash drive with audio recordings of conversations they didn't know I'd saved. I never imagined my life would unravel in such a calculated, cold manner. When Evelyn had her stroke, I didn't hesitate. I brought her into our home, into our lives, and into my daily routine. I became her caregiver, her nurse, her companion. I adjusted my life around her needs, thinking it was temporary, thinking it was the right thing to do. I missed my own father's funeral to stay by her side. Mark assured me he would have understood. But deep down, I felt a pang of guilt and sorrow that I couldn't shake. Days turned into weeks, weeks into months. Evelyn's recovery was slow, and her demeanor colder than ever. I brushed it off, attributing it to her condition, her frustration, her pain. Then, that morning, as I folded laundry outside her room, I heard her voice, sharp and clear. "She's just a maid with a marriage license," she said. "Mark deserves better." My heart sank. I felt the blood drain from my face. I stood there, paralyzed, clutching a pair of Mark's socks. That evening, Mark handed me divorce papers. "She opened my eyes," he said. "You're holding me back." I packed my things in silence, my mind racing, my heart shattered. But before I left, I made sure to leave behind a flash drive, containing audio recordings of conversations they thought were private. I moved into a small apartment on the other side of town. The silence was deafening, but I found solace in it. I replayed the recordings, each word a dagger to my heart. I discovered that Evelyn had been manipulating Mark for months, planting seeds of doubt, painting me as a burden, a hindrance to his success. "She's not ambitious," she'd say. "She's content being your shadow." Mark, once my partner, my confidant, had become a stranger, echoing his mother's sentiments. I decided to send the recordings to Mark's boss, anonymously. Evelyn had made derogatory remarks about the company, its leadership, and even hinted at insider information. Within weeks, Evelyn's reputation was tarnished. Mark faced scrutiny at work, his promotion rescinded. I watched from afar, a mix of satisfaction and sorrow. I never wanted revenge, but I couldn't let their betrayal go unanswered. Months passed. I started rebuilding my life, finding strength in my independence. One day, I received a call from Mark. "I'm sorry," he said, his voice trembling. I didn't see it then, but I see it now. I remained silent, the weight of his words hanging in the air. "Evelyn's gone," he continued. "She passed away last night." I felt a mix of emotions, relief, sadness, anger. "She left a letter," he said. "For you." I hesitated but agreed to meet. The letter was brief. "I was wrong," it read. "You were the best thing that ever happened to Mark. I was blinded by my own fears. Forgive me." Tears welled up in my eyes, but I didn't let them fall. I handed the letter back to Mark. "Some things can't be undone," I said, turning away. Now, when I think back, I don't feel anger or sadness. Just emptiness. They took so much from me, and yet I survived. But sometimes, in the quiet moments, I wonder, was I ever truly seen, or was I always just the maid with a marriage license?